Gone, but not forgotten. Mobile police officer, fallen hero, and family man Justin Billa has been laid to rest.
Unity. Thousands of people, and not just Mobilians, lined the streets to shine as one giant beacon of support for the Mobile Police Department.
We will continue the fight. We will fight for every one of us that has fallen, and we will fight for every one of us that will fall.
Staying on mission, Mobile police officers say goodbye to a brother and vow to stay dedicated to serving and protecting our port city.
NBC 15's special extended coverage of Officer Billa's funeral starts now.
From a celebration of life to his funeral and burial, Officer Justin Billa's loved ones were supported by thousands as they said their final goodbyes.
We have team coverage tonight as the community came together to say farewell to Officer Billa.
We'll show you how officers from all over the country came to Mobile to pay their respects.
Also, we talked to some of the many Mobilians who stopped their day to honor Officer Billa's sacrifice.
Nicole Fierro begins our coverage tonight where Officer Justin Billa is now laid to rest. Nicole?
Greg and Kim, certainly a very heart-wrenching scene here this afternoon, but there was something beautiful everywhere you looked. From the gorgeous flowers to the warm embraces in the crowd here today, all signs Officer Billa is loved and missed. The sounds and sights of a final tribute to hero Officer Justin Billa.
He took an oath to serve and protect with his life. And he did that. And
Number 392, may he rest easy as his legacy lives on forever.
What we placed in the ground today was a body. It wasn't a full person, and because of the faith that Justin embraced, we believe that one day we will see him again.
His name and ultimate sacrifice heard and honored around the country.
Doesn't matter what state, city we're from, we're all that thin blue line, and we all try to come out here and support each other.
A crowd of thousands come together to support those Officer Billa now leaves behind.
thanks to everyone here, that child will know his father.
His father, a hero who made history for his sacrifice during his time here in Mobile.
They don't grieve as those who have no hope, because Aaron and Justin have been filled with hope.
Now, Officer Billa's memorial ceremony here ended hours ago, but as you can see, there is still a steady flow of people coming by to pay their respects. Reporting live here in Mobile, Nicole Fierro, NBC 15 News.
Well, before today's burial, Officer Billa was honored in a touching service at Cottage Hill Baptist Church.
Described as the best of the best, a go-getter who only 6 months into his career made Officer of the Month. NBC 15's Andrea Ramey is live there tonight at Cottage Hill Baptist.
Andrea, his commitment to the force and community was made very clear today.
It was, we heard a lot about that go-getter attitude that Billa had. His commander said he was always signing up for the extra detail, always coming into work an hour early, and always with a smile on his face.
Growing up, Justin Billa wanted to be a police officer, telling his mom when he was little he wanted to catch the bad guys. He realized that dream in 2016 and quickly set himself apart.
One of the practices he had was he would carry around little toys with him when he was on shift so that he could pass them out to the children.
I've heard from countless constituents who had personal interactions with Officer Billa, where he encouraged them not only to follow the law, but to be model citizens.
His passion for police work rivaled only by his love for family. He and his wife Erin were childhood sweethearts and welcomed a baby boy into their family a year ago.
His love for his wife Erin and his son Taylor is unquestioned. He made a habit before he left on shift to be sure to tell Erin that he loved her and to share those kisses with his son.
Justin Billa's end of watch was 1 week ago tonight. No question, his short career will leave a long legacy.
So Justin, rest easy in God's eternal embrace, my brother. We got it from him.
We will continue the fight. We will fight for every one of us that has fallen, and we will fight for every one of us that will fall.
Well, Billa's pastor today said that there was one word that could really sum up Justin Billa, and that is sacrifice. He gave his all to those who knew him, and ultimately his life protecting our community. Reporting live tonight in Mobile, Andrea Ramey, NBC 15 News.
Andrea, thank you. Thousands lined the streets to pay their respects and say their goodbyes.
NBC 15's Derica Young was among those gathered for the procession this morning. She joins us now live with more. Derica?
Greg and Kim, miles and miles of people lined the streets from the church to the cemetery. It's what a close community does best. It comes together in tough times to provide shoulders to lean on, arms to embrace, and a smile to comfort. As the funeral procession waved through the streets of Mobile, thousands gathered.
What I've seen today is Mobile coming together and showing support with the police officers, because really the police officers are part of the community, and that's one thing about Mobilians. They when it comes down to supporting each other, basically we do that.
The community reached out to Aaron Billa and son Taylor. They were sad. They were grieving.
It's terrible that it happened to him. 27 years old. You know, he had his whole life ahead of him.
We're just here to support Officer Billa. I attend church with them, so we just wanted to come show our support today.
First responders responded. They erected a huge American flag. The procession and the white hearse passed below. The family followed along the roads. Some standing at attention, others holding their hands over their hearts.
I think that's what's going to comfort the family the most. It's just knowing he's in a better place.
Now here at the CVS pharmacy, it says, "In loving memory of Officer Billa, rest in peace." Now this is just one of the many signs that are located all across Mobile. We're live in Mobile. Derica Young, NBC 15 News.
Good, thanks. Students at St. Dominic Catholic School paid their respects today to Officer Billa. A number of students and teachers stood along Azalea Road as the procession passed by, students waving American flags. The school posted some photos today with a message saying the St. Dominic community continues to pray for Officer Billa's family and all of our first responders.
Fondi loves Officer Billa. That's what students wrote on signs as Officer Billa's procession went past the school today. Students and teachers stood shoulder to shoulder, taking time out of their day to honor the fallen hero.
Following the death of Officer Billa, his neighborhood came together in a show of solidarity. The Copeland Island neighborhood posted these photos with the caption, "We are deeply saddened by the loss of our neighbor and friend, Officer Justin Billa, who served with honor." Also, the city of Mobile blanketing the skyline in blue in honor of Officer Billa.
People who could not attend Officer Billa's services left very heartfelt comments, paying respects on our Facebook page. Jerry Roberts wrote, "It's so sad for his family. Nice to see our community come together for them." Rhonda Gunter Cecily wrote in part, "So sorry for this family and the police department. I'm so tired of these senseless shootings." One viewer watching our Facebook live stream wrote, "My heart is in a vice. There is such sadness." You can still leave your comments online right now. Just head over to our Facebook page, NBC 15. There are other ways to show your support to Officer Billa and his family.
Yeah, wristbands and t-shirts are available for purchase, with all proceeds going to the Billa family.
Several local fitness centers are hosting fundraisers this week.
You can also donate directly to the official memorial fund for Officer Billa.
There's a link to find it on our website. Just click Find It under the Station tab. Law enforcement officers from across the United States made their way here to honor Mobile Police Officer Justin Billa today.
NBC 15's Christian Jennings joins us live now. Christian, very heartwarming to see all of those officers and the support they gave to the Billa family today.
That's right, Greg, and not only the Billa family, but also the entire law enforcement family here in Mobile. They all needed that support. It was just impossible really to watch the officers carry Officer Billa's casket and place it into the hearse, watch them walk away crying. It was impossible to hold back tears for us and for others around, and that's why law enforcement officers from all over the country made it a point to be here. They knew this day would be oh so difficult. Officer Jordan Rabin knows the heartbreak that comes with losing a fellow officer. Recently, a detective at his department in Polk County, Georgia, was shot and killed on the job.
But we lost the officer back in September, and so we had support from all over the country. So we after that, we decided it's important to pay it forward and do that for other agencies.
Distance wasn't a factor for fellow officers who wanted to pay their respects to Mobile Police Officer Justin Billa. This group is part of an organization called Brotherhood for the Fallen. They're here from places like Chicago, New York City, and Boston. Anytime a man or woman in blue is killed in the line of duty, they make it a point to travel for the funeral and show support in person.
Our organization also makes a donation to the family. Not that eases anyone's pain, but again, it's just a show of support. And unfortunately, we have a lot of experience dealing with losing officers. So when we come down here, we just like to talk to the officers that he left behind, unfortunately, and just listen and hear what they have to say.
We were here last night for the wake briefly, and we spoke to the family, and they were talking about how excited he was to be on the force, and he had his whole career ahead of him, and just it's terrible to hear that. To be here today.
Boston Police Officer Patrick Monroe understands the pain on a personal level.
I'm formerly NYPD. One of my good friends was shot and killed in 2007. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm here today. I know how much it means to the family and the community that we're here.
As an added tribute, officers from near and far brought these police patches for the Billa family. Officer Billa collected these as a hobby.
But what I decided to do was just bring some that I've collected. Downey in California, Little Elm, Texas, Odessa, Texas, just because they're making a quilt, and while I collect them, this is more important, so I'm bringing all the patches from places that I've been.
And we've been telling you before as well that Officer Billa was originally from Houma, Louisiana. We saw several officers from Houma and really from across the state of Louisiana. Quite the impressive showing of officers from that state and from all over the country. Reporting live here in West Mobile, Christian Jennings, NBC 15 News.
All right, Christian, thanks. A convicted child molester may be hiding in our own backyard. Tonight at 10, the clues police are using to track down this man who has been on the run for nearly 3 decades.
Later in this newscast, talks continue in Baldwin County on ways to keep our children safe in schools. The plan of action school officials are now taking to do just that.
And the only rain on the radar at this evening, pretty far away, and we're looking at mild 60s on this night, heading for a possible record on the final day of February tomorrow. How warm and for how long? Up next.
You're watching NBC 15 News with Kim Anderson, Greg Peterson, and Chief Meteorologist Chris Dunn.
School safety concerns will be at center stage in an upcoming community meeting in Baldwin County.
Yeah, today county commissioners took the first step in planning a roundtable discussion.
NBC 15's James Gordon shows us why the conversation is needed now.
The next step is for local officials to decide if this roundtable discussion will be a public meeting, to hear from people like you on things like, should teachers carry guns? Or should we use metal detectors?
Well, I think we're hearing from the public already, and I think that's already happening. You know, the mayors are hearing from the public. The school system is, of course, hearing from the public as well.
The school security roundtable will more than likely take place next week. The Baldwin County school system says it welcomes the input and welcomes the opportunity to hear from everyone. After several scares at local schools, the superintendent has been vocal about making changes.
Those schools that have open corridors from building to building, we're going to look at that, about how we can make it safer for children going from one building to the next. We're taking a long, hard look at everything.
You know, it's such a divisive issue. Personally, I'm a big Second Amendment supporter, and I would like to have armed teachers if possible.
I don't think it's as much about the guns as it is the security for the students and what we're teaching them. So I think it'd be great for everybody to get together and be willing to work together.
Local police, along with the county sheriff, will look at everything from upgrading technology to increased training and finding the money to pay for it all.
what the municipalities are able to do from a funding standpoint. They're already stepping up in many municipalities, what the school system's willing to do, and what the commission's willing to do so that we can figure out a way to better protect our children while they're at school.
Emails were sent out today to local mayors and police chiefs. County commissioners say the sooner they can get everyone together and on the same page, the better. We'll let you know. In Baldwin County, James Gordon, NBC 15 News.
And we're covering breaking news tonight. A major shakeup today in Baldwin County storm preparedness as Emergency Management Director Reggie Chitwood resigns effective immediately.
Baldwin County officials confirmed to NBC 15 News that Chitwood has resigned due to what is being described as personnel issues. Commissioner Tucker Dorsey says Chitwood decided it was in his and the county's best interest to step down.
Chitwood has been EMA director since 2015 and served through numerous storms, including most recently Hurricane Nate.
Assistant EMA Director Jesse Peacock will fill the role moving forward. We'll have more on this developing story coming up tonight at 9 and 10.
NBC 15 weather with Chief Meteorologist Chris Dunn.
Live at the beach, it got dark. Well, we have a little bit of lights out there right now. 68 degrees in Mobile and Gulf Shores. Currently 67. We will stay in the mid-60s for the rest of this evening as the clouds start to increase. We had a relatively cloud-free day with some high and mid-level clouds, but we're starting to see the winds turn back around and come back in from the Gulf of Mexico. So scattered clouds tonight, not quite as cool, becoming mostly cloudy at times, nearing another record on Wednesday, up to 80 degrees. Tomorrow's record is 81, and a cool change on the way for the weekend. Highs in the 60s to around 70 degrees and lows in the 40s. We're not talking about a freeze or frost or anything like that, but it will be a cool change. And the winds of change are turning back around, coming up out of the south, and that will give us a few spotty showers tomorrow morning through about noontime or so, and then everything lifts up to the north. As we head into Thursday, with that steady southerly wind, watch out for areas of fog along the coast and around the bay, kind of what we had last week. And then on the pinpoint predictor, we're watching this area right here. It's a line of showers and perhaps even a thunderstorm as this comes through early Thursday afternoon. So from about 11 o'clock in the morning till about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, that's going to be the window of opportunity for this line of showers. Now, the wind coming up out of the south ahead of it, but once that moves through, the winds turn back around coming in out of the north, and that's going to bring in the cooler air and also drier air. Bus stop forecast for your Wednesday, a milder morning, 64. Warm in the afternoon, 80 degrees. Again, that's 1 degree shy of the record. Milder morning with isolated showers possible up until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then turning out like this. That 80, again, 1 degree away from a record high. Wednesday's rain forecast, the big target zone is up here, Little Rock to Memphis, and that's also the zone for severe weather around here on Wednesday. Just an isolated spot shower or thunderstorm. South wind at 10 at the beach. Moderate rip current risk, 3 to 4 foot seas offshore with a south wind at 10 to 15. And here is your 7-day forecast. 80 degrees tomorrow, 77 on Thursday, and then we cool off. Only 68 on Friday, 70 on Saturday. And look at those chilly morning lows. You're waking up to 42 degrees on Saturday morning.
All right, we've got a great college baseball matchup in town tonight. We'll talk about that. And the state basketball tournament continues in Birmingham. T.R. Miller's girls looking to stay unbeaten as they played in the 3A semifinal.
NBC 15 Sports with Lance Crawford. Sponsored by Eastern Shore Toyota.
For the second straight Tuesday, it's a battle of ranked college baseball teams out at Stanky Field. The Jags ranked as high as 11th in the polls this week, hosting number 18 Auburn tonight. First pitch just minutes away. This is a key game for South because not only is it an in-state rival, but they go on the road this weekend to take on 4th-ranked Texas Tech, so it is 4 brutal games for the Jags this week. Meanwhile, South Alabama has released its 2018 football schedule, the first under new head coach Steve Campbell. All starts September 1st against Louisiana Tech at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. The next week they head to Oklahoma State. Then they start the conference schedule early with Texas State, and then it is 3 consecutive road games before hosting Alabama State, followed by a bye. The Battle of the Belt will be played in Mobile on Tuesday, October 23rd. That game with Troy will be aired nationally on ESPN2. In November, it's 2 road games, 2 home games, rotated evenly. At the basketball tournament, state basketball tournament up there in Birmingham, T.R. Miller's girls 30-0, the only perfect team in the state, taking on Lauderdale County in the 3A semifinals here. Raven Ewing misses, but Margaret Ruschek there to get the rebound and the putback. But the story today was Alabama signee Allie Craig Cruz. She's 6'1", tough to contain when she can shoot from the outside like that. She swishes the three-pointer. Cruz finished with a game-high 28 points, and T.R. Miller's perfect season ends as Lauderdale County eliminates them 59-45.
Troy's going to play a little Tuesday football, huh?
Jags and Troy Tuesday night battling for the belt on national TV.
And you got an off week
you got
on
an
either
off week
side,
on each
so that
side
works
of
out
it.
pretty
Yeah,
well.
exactly. When you play those Tuesday games.
All right, Lance, thanks.
You know, it's fitting that the last day of this February, it's a warm month, will be 80 degrees, and then we drop into the 70s and 60s.
All right, that'll do it for NBC 15 News at 6.
We'll see you back here at 10.